Good afternoon. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. We are going to review Accounts Receivable in our newly released proven web accounting platform. My name is April Reeves, and I am the Product Specialist Team Lead for the Accounting Training Department. Let's review a few housekeeping items. This is going to be presented in a Zoom webinar format. We are currently recording this, and it will be on our YouTube channel. We will publish any updates, and we will have an open Q&A at the end of our session. Today's agenda consists of creating an invoice, printing an invoice, customizing the printout, emailing the invoice, paying an invoice, partially paying an invoice, posting a prepayment, applying a prepayment to an invoice, filtering the invoices screen, returning a payment on an invoice, and we will review some reports. When you first log into accounting, you will see your dashboard. To open up the sidebar, you will need to click this half moon, and you will see all of your options listed on the left-hand side. To start, we are going to click Sales, and this will populate all of the invoices that are currently created. You're going to click New Record, and we will create an invoice today. Once the information is filled out in the top portion of your invoice, we will click Add a new line item. Our quantity will be 1. We'll provide a brief description. And then we will enter the sales price. If you have taxes set up in this upper right-hand side, your tax items will automatically populate under the subtotal. Once you are satisfied with your invoice, you will click Actions and then Post. To print an invoice, you will go to Actions and then Print. Proven Web Accounting is built with a default printout. However, you can customize your own. To view the invoice as it comes, you click View Invoice, and then you will see the invoice. From here, you also have the option to email the invoice. And then you will click Send Email. If you want to view a different type of invoice template, you can click this design feature here. We're going to click this button that shows to edit. Now you can customize your invoice to how you would like to see it. Some information can be made bold. Some information can be removed or changed. We're going to change this label to invoice number. And then we will click Save. Once the invoice template is saved, we simply close, and then we can print from this template. We will choose Invoice Template 1 and then View Invoice. And now you can see my invoice number has changed, and then a few of my items here are in bold. Now that we've created an invoice and mailed it to our customer, we're going to receive the payment that they sent us. The invoice we created is right here on this line. We're going to first select the payment method and click Check. We're also going to select our location. In future versions, this will default to your defaulted location per user settings. We're going to check the box, click Actions, and then Post. It will state that post action is completed. If we wanted to receive a payment for a partial payment, we will select the invoice to receive the payment and then simply change the amount in the payment column. And again, Actions and Post. Now you see that this has refreshed from $4,325 to $2,325 because we made a $2,000 payment. Now we are going to post a prepayment. We will navigate to Customer Prepayments. We will click New Record. We will click the magnifying glass and select our customer. We will also select the job associated to the prepayment. We will select our payment method and then the amount that was paid. Once we have filled out the information pertaining to this prepayment, we will click Actions and then Post, and the prepayment will post. At this time, we will receive a prepayment ID. This prepayment shows up in our receivable screen. Now we're going to apply the prepayment we just created to an invoice. But first, we must create an invoice to apply the prepayment to. In the receivable screen, we will select our payment method, and then we will check the box for the invoice we just created and the payment we want to apply. To apply only the prepayment, we need to make sure that we are only applying the amount that the prepayment was received for. This will be a negative towards the prepayment and a positive towards the open invoice, totaling $0 for net deposit. Click Actions and then Post. This is now posted, and it shows we still have a balance of $1,284 after our prepayment was applied. Now we're going to review how to filter some screens to show you only what you want to see. For example, by default, the Invoices screen shows you all invoices created no matter what the paid status is. This could be paid or unpaid invoices. You could filter by simply typing no, and you want to see all invoices that are not paid. Or if you need to review something, you could type yes and see the invoices that are paid. Or you could take it one step further and create your own filter that will default once you come into this screen. We will click the filter button. We will click Add New Filter Criteria. We want to choose the paid column. We want to tell it that it is equal to no. This means we will see all invoices that are not paid. Then we will click Save View and we'll give it a name. And then click Add. Once added, this filter is now applied to the screen. This is indicated by the orange text in the upper left-hand corner showing unpaid invoices. Also, if you review in the paid column, all of them say no. Let's add one more filter. We are going to filter everything for a specific customer. So our original filter is here, and then it defaults to and. Then we're going to do customer number is equal to, and let's do April Reeves. Click Save View. And now we will see all items that are not paid that are associated to April Reeves. Let's clear our filter. and reset. To edit an existing filter, we will click on Unpaid Invoices, and then we can edit the filter up here. So we're just going to delete April, and we're going to click Save View, and then Update. So now it shows only the items that are unpaid for all customers. Let's return a payment that was received from a customer. We will go into Posted Receivables. This will show us a list of all of the payments that we received on receivables. We are going to return the payment for this item right here. We're going to click Actions and Returned Payment. You will get a notice that says you are about to create a return payment for this receivable. We're going to say yes. It asks us if we'd like to view it now. We're going to say yes. This gives you an opportunity to change the memo. And then from here, we will simply click Post. Once posted, this will now put the information back into the screen. So we posted a $2,000 payment earlier. We just returned it, and now we have a $4,325 balance back on this same invoice once again. Let's view some reports. We're going to start with the Aged Receivable Aging Summary. By simply clicking on it, you have received a table of information. This table can then be printed by going to Tools and then Export. You can also change the date range of this report as well. Most of the time, this report is recalled with an as of date. However, you can change it to this week or this month, and then it opens up some date fields for you. Toggling back to reports. Let's go to Customer Statement. This provides you with all of the items that are available to have a customer statement printed. If you want to review just one item, we will click the magnifying glass, select the customer, and it will default to just that item. At this point, you can click Print Statement, and it will be scheduled to print. Once that printout is complete, we will see this depending on your browser in the upper right-hand corner, either under the bell icon or in the actual browser itself under a download button. Once the download is complete, it will go to Reports and then click Customer Statement Print. This will populate a PDF file. This will populate a PDF file that you can then print and send to your customer. We are working on the ability to email customer statements in the future. Another report that we can review is the Aged Receivable Aging Summary by Customer report. This will give you all of the items that are past due by customer. This again is simply a table that you can export either into a PDF or an Excel file, Word, or a CSV. We also have receivables aging by date summary. Instead of by customer, this is by date. Again, it produces another table. And then we also have the invoice taxes paid file that will then also provide you with the taxes that were paid per each invoice. And you can also export this into Excel and or a PDF. This concludes our session on Accounts Receivable. If you have any questions, I will review them in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I can unmute you. Thank you, everyone. I'm actually going to share my screen again, and we are going to go over a couple of frequently asked questions. I'm going to do that real quick. Give me just a moment. All right, so I bet everyone is going to ask, when will web accounting be released? It is actually already released. And if you would like to be placed on a list of customers that are wanting a conversion to web accounting, please email sales@knmsys.com. Our next most frequently asked question about AR is, can we accept payments in the field? At this time, there are no integrations to directly connect to a payment processor. However, we are looking for a few that will be compatible. Also, just a side note that you can take payments in the field from any third party, but then it will still require you to post that deposit in the receivable screen, in the receivables screen. Can we send invoices with a payment link? Since PSA is not currently a payment processor, the option is pending to be able to send a link. So we are going to take some questions. Let me just look at our Q&A list. Jen, are the permissions on the reports updated? Yes, they are. You can now give permissions based on a specific role and what reports they are allowed to see. And yes, Donna, so Donna's question was about credit cards. Yes, they would need to have a different service at this point. Deb asked, can you invoice from a work order? Yes, you can. I left that out. Good question, Deb. Yes, you can. You can convert a work order to an invoice. And that is actually going to be a feature that's available in Proven Jobs and in accounting now. Michelle said, can you sort the AR report by either PC or estimator? We are currently requesting relationships to be on that page, as well as a few more dates. So yes, we are going to be able to do that in the future, but at this time, it doesn't have the option to add that, but I'm going to actually copy and paste that question so I don't forget. Thank you so much. Are you able to show what the customer statement looks like? Yes, I am. And when I did my recording, it popped up in a different window and I couldn't move it over. So give me just a second and I will go live and I will show you what that looks like. Can we customize a template on the messages to clients when emailing? Yes, we can. Do we have pricing yet on this module? I do not have pricing, but if you email sales@knmsys, Ryan will be happy to give that to you. Donna said question was answered. This is all web-based. Shelly asked if this is desktop or web-based. This is all on the web. Jenny Wong, does it save documents, invoices to Proven Jobs automatically? So are you asking if it saves a PDF automatically? We can circle back to that. Yeah, Joe asked if we're able to set up recurring invoices. Yes, we can. We can set up recurring transactions. And then Jenny said yes. So the document itself, whenever so you're asking if a actual document will be created in Proven Jobs. So if we create an invoice, I can't talk today. Will there be a PDF to view in the web? Jenny, is that what you're asking? Okay, she said yes. So at this time, it does not actually produce a document, but we are in the process of getting the documents over to Think. So that is on the list of things to do. I just wanted to make sure I understood your question. So I'm going to end my share for just a moment, and I'm going to go live in our beta database, our beta environment, so I can show what a customer statement looks like. So bear with me just a moment. Excuse me. Okay, let me share my screen. All right, so let's go to reports. And then a customer statement. And I may have to reshare in just a second. So I'm just going to click print statement and just let them all pop out. It says it's been scheduled to print, so let's just give it just a second and we'll let it produce a report. I don't have very many here, only 16 items, so it shouldn't take too long. And I actually have see if I have a list of some statements in here. There we go. So right now, I'll have to reshare because I only shared one screen. Right now, it's a little bit basic. One moment, please, friends. Okay, I think we can see the customer statement. That was hard to share, but it looks very similar to what it would look like if you were to print it out of desktop. We are going to pretty this up a little bit and you will have your company logo, but this is just a very basic statement. Let me go back to our questions. Let me take a look. Melissa, did that answer your question okay for the statement? Oh, I had one more answer. You're welcome, Melissa. How customizable are the reports? We have a new question. Can we add or subtract fields ourselves or only through PSA? So let me show you that. You can only do what's currently available. So I'm going to reshare. So for example, let's just go into jobs for just a moment. So this is your job screen. Under tools, we have something called a column show. This is where you can actually add or remove any of these options here. So it already has to be preset in this column show section in order for you to add or remove it. So if you wanted to see something extra or something that isn't in this list, we would need to do a request and it would still need to go through us. But once we add it to the option, then it's added for everybody. So any suggestions on what you might like to see in the future would be helpful as well. And those suggestions can also go to Ryan at sales@KNMSys and he'll send them my direction. Good question. Let's see, I have some more. Is date invoiced on that list for job fillers? Are we talking about, on this list? There is a date final invoiced here, yes, on the jobs list. Perfect, good deal, Shelley. We do have some extra time. Are there any more questions that we have? Very good. These were all great questions. If anyone missed this recording, we are actually going to have this available in our help library. And we did get one last question. Let me read this from Joe. Are we able to generate emails to contacts linked to jobs with statements attached automatically, or do we have to copy and paste? That is a very good question. So my vision is that when we email statements, it will be based on the first email in the list for that specific customer ID. However, you will have the option to change it before you hit the send button. But if you're emailing 300 statements, you don't want to hit send 300 times. So my vision is to default to have the email that is first in the list per the customer ID. So if you have some suggestions, Joe, that you would like to make on how that should perform, we're happy to hear them. So you can send those suggestions also to sales@CanMSys. Good question, Joe. Shelly, you said if you don't have online accounting, do we have access to the help library? Actually, everything in the help library is in proven jobs, not in online accounting. And yes, you will have access via proven jobs. And then Melissa, you said, how do we do progress billing? We can actually take that question offline and I can show you how to do that. It's still similar to the desktop. If you are currently a desktop customer, there's not a progress billing process that has been created. But again, we are very open to suggestions and how that should look. We do have a holdback feature that is on desktop that assists in helping do progress billing. So we can review some of those options, Melissa. Perfect, good deal. Okay, everyone, this concludes our session. This will be in the help library for you to review at a later date. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and have a great day.